Hello neighbor, this is Curt with Etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Benton LittleShift single bike rack on our 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now if you watch this video and you have some questions about the LittleShift, or if you've purchased it and you've got some stories to share, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. We'd love to share those with our other neighbors in order to help them make the best decisions for themselves. So if you've been on the hunt for a single bike rack to go on your Santa Fe that is versatile, it can hold a variety of different bikes, whether they're wider tires, wider wheelbases, or heavier bikes like your e-bikes, because it does have a weight capacity of 80 pounds, I think the Benton LittleShift could be an excellent choice for you. The other great thing about the LittleShift is that this bike rack only weighs about 25 pounds, so it's an easy one to take out and install back into your hitch if you ever want to ride around without the bike or the carrier on it. But with all that being said, let's talk a little bit about how it fits on our Santa Fe. Now I want to start off by saying that we picked up one of the largest bikes in our inventory. It's got wide pedals and it's got about 15-inch handlebars. And I wanted to show that because one of the big things about a bike rack is you want to make sure it's clear of the vehicle and not really in any danger of contacting it. And even if we were on a rougher road, as big as this bike is, we're really not in any danger of either the pedal hitting anything or our handlebars hitting the back window. But with that being said, like any platform hitch bike rack, there are going to be some obscurities in the back. You know, you'll have a little bit of taillight obscurity, the license plate, but more importantly, the rear view camera. I do think it's really important to know just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind the vehicle. So with that being said, from the bumper to the furthest part of our rack, which would be right here, we're at 18.5 inches. So just keep in mind, you got an extra 1.5 feet back here whenever you're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. Another good thing to always keep in mind is what kind of ground clearance do you have. You have about 13.5 inches of ground clearance, and that's thanks to that slight rise in the shank here. As close as this is to the vehicle, that doesn't really worry me too much about any sharp inclines or steep driveways or anything like that, but it is something to keep in mind. I had also mentioned that this bike carrier can carry up to 80-pound bikes. So if you have one of those heavier 50, 60, 70, or 80-pound e-bikes, it's a good idea to know just what kind of lift we're going to have into the wheel cup here. So it'll be about 16 inches. So just keep that in mind. There aren't really any ramp systems or anything that work with this. So just make sure you're comfortable lifting it up that height and down whenever you want to remove that heavy e-bike. Now the weight capacity, of course, makes this bike rack very versatile, but I think what makes it more versatile than other racks is the fact that it can be wheel or frame mounted. Right now we have it wheel mounted, which is usually the preference if you have a choice. But if you have a custom paint job or a carbon fiber frame, that's really what you're going to have to do is wheel mount it. However, if you have a bike that has fenders on it, this isn't really a choice. So what you can do to make it frame mount is really simple. We're going to depress this button on the hook arm here, remove our hook, bring it back. Of course, we're holding on to and bracing the bike the whole time. And now we can latch it down to become a frame mount. Just that simple. So when I say this can work with a wide variety of bikes, it truly, truly can. Now, if we're going to remove the bike, we're of course going to have to let go of our wheel straps down here. There are two wheel straps. They are ratcheting and they are rubber padded so it can protect your rims. You're just going to want to depress this tab, feed it through the spokes, and out the other side. We're going to do the same process here on the front wheel. Now we're going to hang on to the bike, lift up our hook like we did before. We don't have to detach it though. And we're going to move that down and out of our way. Now we're free to lift the bike up out of the way and either store it or hit the trail. So being that this is a smaller rack, it doesn't really have a fold up or stow position or anything. So when you're riding around with it without the bike, this is the way I usually like to store it. I'll bring the hook down onto the wheel cup here, and what I'll do is bring this strap around and feed it through and kind of latch the hook down a little bit. Just like that. That'll make sure my hook stays in place as I'm going down the road. I'm going to do the same thing right here, stow my straps. And now really that's all you really have to do if the bike is removed and you want to get out on the road. There is one more feature that really makes this bike rack unique, and that's this step up right here. So if you have roof accessories or anything like that, There's a nice grip step right here for you to get up and just kind of grab at anything you may have in a roof box or any other rooftop cargo. One of the things I really like to use it for, though, is to just have a seat and take a break. Whether I've got my bike with me or not, this actually makes a handy little seat if I need to take a rest or a break at any point while I'm out and about with my Hyundai Santa Fe. So with all that being said, I think the LittleShift is a great option if you're looking for a single bike rack that, again, is very versatile and can handle a wide variety of bikes. I'm Curt with Etrailer. Thanks for stopping by.